I really wanted to have this balloon in the video, but then I realized I have a hard enough time fitting my books on the screen, so happy birthday, balloon! Oh, don't go into the fan! Good morning, good evening, and good night, everybody. My name is Sarah, and today we are doing yet another book haul. Now, I don't do these as frequently as I wish I could because I don't get too many books. However, as you have probably figured out by the title and the beginning of this video, it was my birthday, and I'm just super excited because I was very kind to myself and bought myself a lot of books. That's not to say they were all a gift for myself. Some of them were gifts from friends and families, but like, I gotta pick out some of my favorite things, and I'm just super excited to show them off. You've probably already seen a few of them because I've talked about them already, but this is just the official haul to say, yes, I have these now, and I'm just so excited for that. So let's start off with the one I am most excited to have my hands on now, and that is This Is How You Lose the Time War. I've already read this book, and I've already reread it, and I've already tabbed this new copy I got myself for my birthday. I got really excited, and I read it all again. I normally don't like buying books I've already read because I have really good access to my library. However, when my favorite books happen to have like a 4-month waiting period in order to like get them, I'm willing to spend a little bit of money, especially since I wanted to annotate this one. I absolutely love this book so much. This is sort of a sci-fi romance story about two characters from opposite sides of the time war as they go back in time together, fight each other, and eventually fall in love with each other and what they will do to keep their love safe. And it's so beautiful. This is the most beautiful book I've ever read. And I brought this up a couple of times in my most recent videos. I really don't like books that have very floral, very beautiful writing, but this one does it right. A lot of the books people say have really beautiful and flowery writing is just filled with metaphors. This is not filled with metaphors. Yes, there are some metaphors in it, but this is a beautiful book because of the romance of a relationship. So much of this book is told in the letters between these two separate agents. They're known as Red and Blue, and that's all I annotated. I only annotated their letters, and it's stunning. I also annotated a couple of the foreshadowings in this, because this book is really good at foreshadowing, so I just love this book a lot, and I had to have my own copy. The next book I bought myself, I don't even feel guilty about it because it was less than $5, and that's The Fairy Godmother's Apprentice wore green. This is a novella, tiny novella, less than 70 pages. You probably saw me mention this on the video of asexual representation in books. This is one of the books I brought up saying I still need to read. I finally got my hands on it. Less than $5, less than 70 pages. I cannot wait to read this, and I'm just so excited because it's beautiful and it's asexual, and it was less than $5, like I said, so I cannot wait. I cannot wait. I have a readathon going on this month that I'm hopefully going to pick this book up for, and if not, I'll do it in one night anyways. The plot of this book is that there is a village being ravaged by a dragon, and without a princess to save, no knights will come and rescue their village. Instead, the village must depend on one strange traveler in a ragged green coat, and that is all the synopsis says for it, and I understand it's 70 pages, but it looks amazing. Next thing I have to mention was not a birthday gift, however, it is mine now, and that is the box set of The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. This was my father's. He has had this since the 70s, and I was bringing him over my Mistborn trilogy box set, and I'm like, hey, I think you would like this. And then I saw The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit box set. I'm like, wanna trade? And he says, yes, any of his books are mine to read, and so this is mine now. I'm claiming it. I'm going to finally read this because I've never read Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit, and I feel really bad for saying that, but I'm gonna do it soon once I read everything else, because we're just gonna add this to the TBR shelf, and we're getting to it eventually. That's the goal, but super excited to have this. Don't even need to give the synopsis for you. This is the icon of fantasy. Next thing is not at all book related. Well, kind of book related, but I'm throwing it in here just because of how excited I am for the fact that I have this now. New phone. Ta-da! My old phone was really starting to break down, and I finally got my hands on a new phone, and what I'm showing off specifically is my new phone case. This is Denki Kaminari from My Hero Academia. I got this phone case off of Redbubble. I will leave the link in the description below. It's so nice. It's so pretty. Denki Kaminari, I don't want to say he's my favorite character, but I couldn't find a phone case with Twice on it, so, you know, I still have this, and that's amazing. So, yep. I have a new phone with Denki Kaminari on the phone case. So yeah. Talking about My Hero Academia, I also picked up volume 24 of My Hero Academia. This is the most recent volume that has been released in the English translation. I love the series, and I will continue to buy the set, and it's so nice. This volume, I've talked about in my wrap-up, focuses specifically on the villains. The entire story usually focuses only on the heroes because it is a hero origin story. It is a world set where basically everyone has superpowers except our main character until one day he meets someone who's like, hey, my power is unique, I can give it to you. and it follows the journey of our main character as he learns to become a superhero. It is all set in like a high school setting, and they're like going to school specifically to be a hero. This volume is the villains, however. It is all the people who do not qualify to be heroes, and they decide to use their powers anyways. And I mentioned before, Twice is one of my favorite characters, and he's a villain, and he focuses so much in this volume and the next volume that is coming up. So yeah, I love it. I love it so much, and it's gonna go nicely on the shelf behind me with all of my manga on it. The next manga I want to haul and show off, I'm a little nervous too, because the cover isn't really YouTube appropriate. Like, it's fine, everything is covered up, but at the same time, I'm like, I have friends who are minors who watch my YouTube videos, and it's Blue Exorcist Volume 9. The character on the cover is wearing a bikini, and I love the series. It's all about Rin, the son of Satan, as he decides to become an exorcist to kill his father, and along the way he meets a bunch of eccentric characters, and that just happens to be one of the characters on the cover. Yeah. I mean, I love the series, I really do, but this is like the one cover I'm like, I don't know if I want to own this copy. It's fine, but at the same time, I'm like, Okay, so moving away from that, we're going to talk about the next and last manga series I have to haul, and that's Yu Yu Hakusho Volume 7. I've talked about the series a lot, so I'm going to be really brief about it. It's all about our main character, Yusuke, who one day dies. However, he dies way before his time. The afterlife has not prepared a spot for him, so they send him back to Earth under the condition that he works for them now. This is a series that involves a lot of demon and spirit detective work, and it's so cool and so amazing. This volume specifically deals with like a competition tournament setting, and that's pretty awesome. I only have two more things to talk about, and I've already mentioned both of them in my videos, but they're both graphic novels. The first of which is Naomi, or Naoma. I have yet to learn how to say the name of this book. This is a graphic novel featuring the story of, like, basically a sidekick villain who just shows up at a villain base one day. It's like, hey, I'm your new sidekick. Congratulations, you're stuck with me now. This story is set in almost like a medieval type setting. However, they also have technology, and that's really cool. Our main character is a shapeshifter, and there's also like a story plot line where like her boss, like the main villain, has a relationship with like one of the heroes who is like trying to stop them. And it's so cool and interesting. Our sidekick villain is actually way more villainous than the actual villain, and while the villain, her boss, is like, we have a code, a way of doing things, we have a certain set of rules that we have to follow, the sidekick is like, no, I can turn into a dragon, I can do whatever I want. So it's very interesting to watch their character dynamics, and the artwork in this is stunning. It does take a little bit to get used to, but by the end of it, you're just in love with this series. And finally, the last thing to haul is the Adventure Zone Volume 3, Pedal to the Metal. This, again, I've already talked about because of how much I love it. This is the third volume in the Adventure Zone series, as you can probably tell. It is based off of a D&D podcast that it's so much fun. It's so much fun. It's a story about three characters as their crazy adventures. Volume 1 is all about normal D&D stuff, like they go on a trip, they go to a dungeon, they fight some goblins. Volume 2 gets a little bit more technical. It sets up an overarching narrative, and also like it's a murder mystery on the train. And Volume 3 is a car race, and there's also an adorable love story between two side characters in this, and I love it, and it's great, it's amazing. I already talked about it in my review. I cannot shut up about this series, and I am currently like trying to catch up on the podcast because I'm behind on that, like all my podcasts, but this artwork is stunning, and it definitely has improved since Volume 1. Like, going back and comparing the two, the improvement is beautiful and amazing, and I've said it before, I've said it again, I cannot shut up about this, and that's a good thing. Unless, like, you're my friends, and that's kind of annoying. I'm not apologizing, but you guys should really read this, I'm just saying. So yeah, that has been my birthday book haul. As you can probably tell, I've already read a lot of these, but the ones I haven't yet, I just can't wait to get to, and I'm gonna try. Probably not gonna read them all this month, but I'm gonna try to get at least the majority of them done this month. If you want to tell me which books I should prioritize, please leave that down in the comment section down below. While you're down there, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. As always, good night, good evening, and good morning, everybody.